I was talking with B. Scott about this last week. He's in on 5. He's in on 5 primetime games, which I don't have a problem with, and I think it's a possibility.
And I think it has as much to do with the opponent as the Texans.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Like, they're playing some badass squads. So.
And how many opponents have their games that are attractive?
Yeah.
Like the Texans might be the most attractive, one of the most attractive games, like for the Jets.
Yeah.
You know, because like the Jets are the Jets and they can play on prime team, but in terms of like for both opponents. But I think, look, just to be honest, the Chiefs was one of mine. So I didn't get that one right. But let's eliminate that.
Okay. Gone.
I feel very strongly that the Texans are going to face the Minnesota Vikings in London.
Wait, what?
I feel very strongly the Texans are going to face the Minnesota Vikings in London.
So a 9 a.m. game? I love those, man.
9 a.m. game.
I love that. Get up at 9 a.m. and get it over with and chill.
And this is true common sense. I'm just looking at who the Vikings could play.
This?
Just looking at who the Vikings could play. I know they're going to play October 6th because there's been reports that they're playing October 6th.
Okay.
It stands to reason to me that of the Vikings opponents, now I looked at their opponents when I was putting together that common sense schedule. I don't have them in front of me. There's like 2 or 3 that would be like, you know, inter conference type games.
Like he's kind of. I mean, he just kind of just. I don't know. I think he's kind of doing something that.
What's going on, Figgy?
I don't know. I don't feel like this is just like pulled out of nowhere.
It's
you saying you got some sources?
I don't know. I mean, I know the Lopez smirk. It just kind of.
Who you talk to,
I'm
man?
trying not to smirk.
It just kind of feels like he might
YouTube
really
listeners.
think that he might have some information here to where the Texans are playing in London.
It's common sense to me.
Okay, well,
it's common sense. To me.
Well,
Texans versus Vikings.
You're the only one with that common sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is. I mean, and I kind of got that little. Okay, well, all right.
So there we are.
You want to put some money on it?
I'm trying not to make a face.
I don't. I'm not betting. I'm not.
No, I'm asking Lopez. You want to put some money on it that they do play?
I'll take some money.
That's how you know if he knows something.
Yeah.
If he's willing to bet on it, he knows something.
No.
Yeah.
No, man. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything. Texans at Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Come on. It just makes sense.
Now, this is my thing. Like in the past, this was kind of like the question made more sense. Like back when everyone had to have a primetime game, it didn't necessarily count as a primetime game.
Yeah, that's why I said holiday.
But I think this counts.
Yeah.
But I think it counts now since not everyone has to have one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as primetime as it gets. It's as large of an audience.
It'll be
as
a bigger
there is.
audience than some.
Yeah.
You know, like Thursday night games and stuff. It'll be a bigger audience for sure. Maybe even some Sunday night and Monday night games. The way I put it is primetime, holiday, and overseas games. So Texans, the Vikings in London, Texans at Cowboys. And this is one that I mentioned last week, and it just makes too much sense. It just makes too much sense. Texans versus or at Titans, Color Rush Thursday night. It just makes too much sense.
Does it?
Yes.
Who wants
Texans
to watch
have new
the
uniforms.
Who wants to watch the Titans?
Well, but the rivalry is there. Texans have new uniforms.
By the way, I want to wear the normal uniforms against the Titans.
Well,
don't
but it
waste
might
it
be a
on
color
them.
wash game.
Don't waste it on them.
It might just be something that the NFL talks about and decides.
I think the NFL just look at that game as a division rival, and they favor a lot of division rivals on primetime.
Yes.
So I can see that just that alone.
Especially on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
But Thursday Night Football also is color rush. It could be where the Titans use their Oilers uniforms again, and the Texans could unveil those sweet red ones with the horns on the helmet. So that to me just makes too much sense. Texans at or versus Titans on Thursday Night Football color rush.
Okay.
And then this one is, again, like, you got to see how the NFL thinks. The NFL last year, Texans at Indianapolis, the game was flexed. You know, we were at Daly's. It was awesome. I can feel another season ender against the Indianapolis Colts. Maybe this one at home that could possibly be flexed. So it's like kind of sort of a primetime game. I think it's the season finale, and if the stakes are there, then it could be a primetime game.
Okay. So that's your 4, Texans and Vikings in London.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we know the Vikings are in London for a fact, right?
Yes.
Okay, well. All right, well. mark that. Texans at Cowboys Thanksgiving. This seems to be a popular choice. Stephon Diggs said he would like that one. And then a couple of divisional ball games versus Titans and versus Colts. That's Lopez's 4 common sense, with one with a little bit perhaps more mustard on it.
I didn't put any mustard on anything.
It was a little bit.
It was
a little bit.
Now the Jets could be an interesting one. If you want to throw a 5th one in there, the Jets could be interesting because when you look at this game and all the things,
Yeah. And that's me.
Yeah. No, I think it's fair.
I want to start. I want this, and this is where I'm just wondering what people are scared of. Mm-hmm. I don't get this. I feel like this is recency bias.
Yes.
That I want the Texans to open the season Sunday Night Football against the Jets. Sunday night or Monday night against the Jets. I know that the turf sucks. Mm-hmm. It gets a lot of attention, in large part because Aaron Rodgers got hurt 4 plays into the season.
Yeah.
Which I don't necessarily know that you blame that on the turf, but that's what I want. I want Texans versus Jets. Aaron Rodgers in his 40s coming off an Achilles injury. I want to get that game over with. Yeah. You're going to have to do it no matter what. That is my notion, but I put that out there, and there seems to be an area of the fan base that's a little bit concerned, and I've heard multiple people, including Brown Chubby Bear, say, well, I want to play that game before the bye week. Why? Teams have opened the season in New York against the Jets. I know that CJ got hurt. I know that it's not like the best playing surface, but Buffalo opened the season there last year. I mean, they ended up a field goal away from beating the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do it anyways. It's going to be the freshest legs you're going to have. It's also going to be a lot of attention, a lot of primetime buzz with the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, all that team, a good ball club. I don't get this, because if you're telling me that, well, you want to do that during the bye, so are you telling me that in Dallas, Washington, and Philadelphia, they're sitting there crossing their fingers on Wednesday saying, please let us play the Giants before the bye week, because it's the same stadium. Yeah. Please let us play the Giants before the bye week. In New England, Miami, and Buffalo, are they sitting there saying, please let us play in New York against the Jets on the bye week? Please.
So is it a weather-related thing?
No, it's the turf.
Yeah.
People think that some people think that it's a dangerous playing surface, which is not the most ideal playing surface. But if you're going to have to play there anyways, get it over with the weather. Go out there and play. Like, teams have opened in that stadium before. Mm-hmm. I think it's just the remembering C.J. Stroud walking off the field to where there's that type of fear. But I mean, trust me, they're not doing that in those 6 previously mentioned spots.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. The other thing that I think it makes sense for is, like, when you look at the AFC teams that the Jets are playing outside of their division, it's the AFC South. I mean, the Texans would make the most sense as a primetime game, and then Steelers and I forget the other one. But, so I would think it would make sense if you want to add a 5th to make it the Jets.
On the YouTube, Guy Jean says people make a fuss about a schedule and we already know the teams that they're going to play anyway. So it doesn't matter how it's laid out.
Stop saying that, man.
When the bye week is, are you going to travel to, would you rather play in Green Bay in December, or would you rather play in Green Bay in September?
Yeah.
Like that, where would you rather play in Chicago early? Would you rather play in Chicago late? Would you rather face a rookie quarterback early? You want to start off against 4 the best teams in the league? It
doesn't make sense.
It does matter. The layout of the schedule matters. It doesn't matter how you know.
That's the reason B.O.B. got fired.
That is
how that schedule started off.
Yeah.
Didn't start off like that.
Point. Thank God for that.
That's a great point.
He would probably, I don't know, he probably would have lasted the whole year.
And we all care about, when's the bye week? Because this is a team that's going to be playing an extra long schedule with the Hall of Fame game. When's the bye week? When's the Thursday night game? Who are you playing before and after the Thursday night game? Is it long travel? Is it short travel after when you play? Come on, it makes sense.
The schedule's not a big deal.
It is a very big deal.
It's a big deal. How it lays out is huge. You don't want a murderer's row. You want it spread out perfect. All that. Coming up next, as we localize it. So